What's going on? This is King Cam with Junbei's podcast and Junbei Me's message. And today's message is: can a person or a Christian be conscious or woke as well? Okay, what do you think? Y'all can like, follow, subscribe. We're going to get in on this conversation because, in the light of Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King, as well as our inauguration as recently, we tend to put people in boxes. We tend to put certain individuals in boxes, especially in the conscious community. What happens is Martin Luther King, Baptist, Christian, he was concerned about the community. But at the same time, we demonize him for being Christian and conscious as well. So I'm just trying to figure out, can a person be Christian and conscious or woke at the same time? Me, myself personally, I am a Christian. I am a minister, but at the same time, I am very aware of what's going on in the community. So I try to organize, I try to teach, and also encourage. So most of my brothers and sisters who are of different spiritual systems, they will believe that you can't be where you can be, because 50, 60 years ago, even 100 years ago, during when our ancestors were enslaved, they were, for the most part, most of them were Christian, and they still fought, and they still did their best, and they made strivings and changes. So my question is, can that, does it, being a Christian, disqualify us from serving our community? Or how about this one? Going to HBCU. What if this person who is making changes went to HBCU? Because what I hear is HBCUs are irrelevant. I don't know, because most of the teachers in any predominantly Black high school, middle school, in the public education system, most of them went to HBCU, and a percentage of them did pledge a Greek fraternity or sorority. Does that write them off from doing for the community, or giving a helping hand to those in the community? I hear that as well. I hear that Black Greek organizations cannot, they should be more African. For the most part, Black Greek-led organizations are very African. Why? Because it's African American coming from the African experience. And so there's a lot of things that make it African. No, they're not speaking the Kemetic language. No, they're not, every chance you get, referring it back to the pyramids or the Zulus and things like that. Okay, there's other organizations on and college campuses that do that. But does that write them off? Does that negate the fact that they can do for the community because they're Black Greek lettered organizations and they go to HBCU or college and just happen to be Christian? Because what we hear is people in that category, they can't do it because they're not fully aware, fully woke. They have to adhere to certain hotel guidelines. I'm trying to figure out what they are, because I'm a history major and I'm a history teacher, and every chance I get, I teach. And so these individuals are saying they have to do X, Y, Z in order to be accepted. No, that's not the way it goes. Our community out there, our children, our youth can't read, write, or spell, and we're out here doing the best we can. Be it we are in these organizations, but we are in them to serve and help others. We went to our HBCUs, our beloved HBCUs. Why? Because our forefathers, grandparents, great-grandparents envisioned and knew that education is freedom. Were they trying to be like the Yales and the Harvards? No. Grambling is Grambling. Prairie View is Prairie View. Howard is Howard. In fact, some of our HBCUs are way better than Ivy League schools. I'm just saying. And so are they, because they're Howard, because they're Fisk, because they're Houston Tillotson, FAMU, shout out, Southern University, you put your HBCU in the chat. I'm just saying, are my beloved HBCUs trying to be like the others? No, they're not. They exist, serve the children, great grandchildren, grandchildren of those who were enslaved. So the same token, were these Black Greek letter organizations, were they trying to be like the white counterparts? No. The reason why they were made, the reason why they was established was because our Black founders and our Black leaders could not participate in the white organization. So they said, I bet we're gonna make our own. Same thing with anything else. Think about it. In the Black experience on this side of the Atlantic, see, we are quick to talk about over yonder on the other side of the Atlantic, think about those experiences, but we had our experience here. We carved out our existence here on this side. So we had, since we couldn't go to worship, or we was forced to worship at the balcony, we made our own churches. I bet. Okay, since we couldn't go to school once we was emancipated, since we couldn't go to their schools, we made our own schools. Were we trying to be like them? No, not at all. Since we couldn't eat in certain restaurants, for a long time we had our own restaurants and we were doing our own thing. We need to get back to that self-reliance and self-determination, self-preservation. Okay, because Black Wall Street existed, were they trying to be like the regular Wall Street? No. There's Freeman towns all over the country. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the Red Summer 1919. But were they trying to be like? No, they were just trying to live. They weren't trying to be like. They weren't trying to be similar to. They were just trying to do their thing. So, that being said, can Christians be conscious or woke? Yeah. Okay? Because we all live here too. We all have our concerns too, politically, economically, socially. And so some of us, instead of us hiding in the four walls of the church, we decide to go out and work with others. What do you think? Let me know. Because what happens is for lack of a better word, we talk out of both sides of our mouth. On one hand, we love Martin Luther King, we're quoting him and all this kind of thing. At the same time, you're a Christian. So that means he couldn't do what he thought was right to do because he was Christian? No. He did it for those reasons. He did it because he was Christian. He was Christian and he wanted to serve humanity. So right now, young people are disqualifying our ancestors, our recent ancestors, ones who marched in the 60s, had their personal convictions and had their day. Right now, they're downplaying what they thought was right at the time. Think about it. What would we have done if we was faced with those same scenarios, same social construct, same way of living and way of thinking? Would we have decided something different? Was it safe? Don't know. But we cannot downplay the work of so many because there's a new idea that popped up. Granted, some of these ideas have been around for a long time, but were they the majority during this time pushing these efforts? What can be done now is for us to come together. My phone is ringing. For us to come together and to work and to thrive and to grow together as a people. We don't need petty differences to divide us. I heard somebody say, you don't have to dig too far to find dirt. If you don't want to work with people, you're gonna find ways not to work with them. But the issue is the issue still stands. We're still struggling. We're still at square one. After all these books you have read, all these things you have learned in languages, what are you gonna do with it? So, like my little cousin would say, so what's next? After we have done all of this, what's next? There are some individuals right now, there are some Black conscious leaders right now that are disputing amongst themselves on the minutiae of key terms. We don't have time for that. We got children that can't read. We got children that can't write. We got children that are hurting themselves, killing themselves. And we want to speak on this and speak on that. No, let's do something. What I decided to do is teach. I'm an educator. What I decided to do is organize. What I decided to do is uplift. If there's a canned good drive, I'm out there. If there's a food drive, I'm out there. Some of the youth are at the library. I sponsor the National Honor Society. Guess what? I'm over there too, with a mask. Do something. Okay? You don't have to wait till you're well versed in Kiswahili or the meta nature to help someone. And then the individuals who are disqualifying your efforts for helping someone just because you don't know this or you don't know that, they're wrong. If there's some individuals out there that are telling you can't help anybody because you don't know this or you don't know that, get from around them. If it's in your heart to do and to help and to uplift, you should. Don't let people stop you just because you believe a certain way. Like I said, I'm a Christian. I'm a Christian minister. Not only I am a Baptist, clutch the pearls, I'm Baptist, yeah. But at the same time, I'm a historian. I love Africa. I love African people. I love all people. And because of that, that's what I do. What I do. I do it as often as I can while I can. So be encouraged. This is just to set the tone that you can be conscious and woke at the same time. Okay, you can be Christian and woke at the same time. Don't let your beliefs stop you from helping or lifting somebody up as you climb. Okay, I get that, in all kind of circles, people saying, I've tried to work with other people and they found out I was a Christian, they shied away from me. Does it? So if you feel that way, fine. I'm not gonna hit you across the head with King James. No, I'm out here trying to lift my friends out the mud. You should do the same. All right? Like I said, my name is King Cam, and this is Unjube's podcast. Unjube means message. Today's message is, can we be Christian and woke? Emphatically, yes. We are all here to liberate our people. All right? What do you think? You can subscribe, comment. If you want to be on the show to discuss, you can. I'm open to discussion. I'm open to talk to anyone, anytime. Okay. I'm not here to down you. I learned from Martin and I learned from Malcolm. I learned from Elijah Muhammad. I learned from Farrakhan. But at the end of the day, this is what I believe. Yes, I realize I am a black man. I get it. Let's move forward with some positive solutions. What can we do now? How can we move forward to free our minds and our spirit and our body? Okay. So, like I said, if you are interested in joining the discussion, I have some friends in Africa. We had a great discussion a few weeks ago. I got a couple individuals that's coming on the show to talk more about their views on the black community. And one of my friends are going to come through, and we're going to talk about Red Summer 1919. What happened? Black Wall Street was not an isolated incident. It was several things that was going on. It was several neighborhoods that was taken apart. Okay, but we have the opportunity to come together and work together. Okay, let's do this. Let's do this together. Let's work together. Right? Once again, you know who I am. This show has been brought to you by PT Cam Events and Design. If you want to sponsor the show, get at me. If you want to be on the show, do the same. All right.